Hi, you guys. Um, I am coming in to do a video, kind of let you guys know why my videos have slowed down. Actually, they've stopped. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I have a very small channel, and I started this channel at the beginning. Well, I won't say at the very beginning of the pandemic, but it was sort of like maybe a few months in. And I started cooking more because I was at home more. And I just, being home with my family, it just began to be a love for cooking and family time and enjoying each other. And so my husband kind of was like my push to, he's always loved my cooking, but he absolutely was my push to go ahead and create a YouTube channel because I'm always on YouTube. I love it. And I actually started YouTube some years back, I think back in '07. And I just never kept doing videos and kind of privatized the videos I had because it started out being a weight loss journey. Then it turned into a hair journey. I was all over the place, honestly. But the cooking was something that I've always enjoyed. And my husband knew I enjoyed it. And so he kind of just really encouraged me to go ahead with the cooking and actually create content for YouTube. So I was doing the cooking, things were rolling, things were going really great. I was, just enjoying, everything about it. And our lives drastically changed right after Thanksgiving. Right after Thanksgiving, everyone in the house pretty much caught the virus. COVID-19. And I don't know if you could say this on YouTube, but I'm going to say it because that's what it is. And my glasses are dirty. I guess I should have wiped them off before I got on here. But right after Thanksgiving, I had, did this wonderful Thanksgiving meal I prepared. I actually took like 2 or 3 days prepping for it because this was the first time that I was actually making every single dish at home. Just for the safety of our families, we just did, Thanksgiving, which a lot of people did. So I was doing everything and I wanted to do everything from scratch. And so I had filmed and recorded all of those things that we were doing during Thanksgiving. And right after Thanksgiving, COVID hit our family. All of us ended up getting it. My husband ended up going to the hospital. He ended up going in the hospital initially for breathing troubles. And he was there for about 6 days. And they set him to be released to come home, which we were all excited for. But one thing I noticed when I actually got him from the hospital, they released him on oxygen. And what I thought honestly was happening was, he just needed it for a little bit to help with his wind. I didn't think he would have troubles like walking or getting around when he got home, but in actuality, he did. Like he couldn't make it from our bedroom to the bathroom after the first day of being home. And so as he was home, we were trying to, take care of him, make sure things were good. We were, in the process of making sure things were good, but my husband started to decline and just having really bad troubles breathing and catching his breath. So I ended up having to call 911 out to the house, and they came. And I should have put some grease on my lips. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm chapped. But I end up calling 911 out to the house, and he ended up having to be readmitted back to the hospital. So during this time, this is the second time he went in. For the first day, he didn't need ventilation. The second day he did. So at that point, from the second day of him being in the hospital, I could not talk to him anymore. It was basically me having to call the nurses and doctors, just to, check in, see if how his numbers were, gas levels in the blood. They did this, which a lot of COVID patients, they started this process of like turning him on his stomach to help with oxygen levels. So they did that. And so he was in the hospital. He was back hospitalized, and he was in the hospital for about, I want to say, 8 days. On the morning of December 21st at 4 a.m., I got a call from the hospital saying that I needed to bring our kids up there to see Dad, and for me to come visit him because things were not looking good. So I got my boys. We have 2 sons. I got them packed up, ready to go. We went up to the hospital, and we went and saw him. Now, I am a woman who believes in God. I believe in miracles. I believe God can do anything. And I think one of the hardest things for me through all of this is when we went to see him, he was like propped up. He looked very serene. He was still on ventilator, and at that point he was on dialysis 24 hours a day. And so we were there, and we circled up around him, me and my boys. My oldest son, who is 17, prayed. And we just sat around and we just talked around him for some time. And they ended up bringing a chaplain up there with us. And, he prayed with us as a family. And one of the things that he asked us was, did we want to call a morgue, or call a funeral home. And my son stepped up and said, no, my dad's not gone. And I did not think he was gone at that point. I don't know if in that, now that I think about it, as I'm talking about it, I don't know if the nurses or doctors really explained to me I knew the situation was critical, but I just did not know the situation was he was not leaving the hospital alive. Okay, if that makes any sense. Yes, we went up there, they said he was declining, all of those things, but I still did not think he was going to pass. Okay. So, we circled up, we prayed after the chaplain, we got rid of him quickly. And so me and the boys came home. We just started, it was like 4 o'clock that morning. Well, we got home about 7. So we stayed up there a few hours. We got home about 7. And then, 8 o'clock, 9:30, I called the hospital. They said everything was still looking the same. There was no changes. And so I asked them, about his blood gases, because that was like, one thing that the nurses were saying, that the blood gas is at a critical level. He can't survive with, this number of blood gases. So I asked about that. And I asked about a couple of other things concerning when I saw him, like I saw blood like around his lips and stuff. So I just was asking her questions because when we left the hospital, it was like I had so many emotions. I wasn't really processing So I didn't ask a lot of questions while I was there. I was just so excited to see him because I hadn't seen him. So in that excitement of seeing him, it was like I kind of lost track of, like focusing on questioning. So got home, called him, asked them questions. So about 11:45, I got a call from a doctor, not a nurse, a doctor this go round. And the doctor said that his heart rate had declined and they were going to do CPR on my husband. And so I said, absolutely, do CPR. And so he was explaining to me about CPR. He explained about, the possibility of breaking ribs, doing that, and wanted to know how long. Of course, I wanted them to do it. So I said, do it as long as necessary. And so about 12:10 on December 21st, 2020 is when they called me back and told me that my husband did not make it. So I am doing this video. Number one, I've been in grief therapy for my husband's death. And I was, I'm trying to compose myself. I got my tissue, but I'm trying to compose myself. But I'm doing grief therapy, which has been like a blessing because my husband was such an instrumental part of my life, my YouTube, our kids, our everything. And I think the hardest thing for me was the fact that I knew my husband was coming home. I knew he was coming home. Nobody could tell me any different. I had his side of the bed ready. I had things organized. They're not organized now. But I had things ready for him to come home. And so the fact that he didn't come home has been one of the hardest things. This whole thing in general has been one of the hardest things I've had to deal with in my entire life. And I thought I've dealt with some hard things. So I buried my husband, and literally all the cooking just stopped. It just stopped. Everything stopped. For me, it just stopped. And I thank God for the support of family, church members, friends who have just completely blessed my family after this has happened. And I know one church family just came and brought me a whole bunch of food gift cards. So I would just hand them to my children and say, order it. Order what you want for dinner. I'm not cooking. And I have not cooked. Now, recently here, I've started back cooking. I've started back doing things here and there, but it has not been consistent at all. And I let me just say this, in my grief counseling, I mentioned how much I miss him pushing me in this whole YouTube thing. I miss him, like, you know, we would do grocery store runs together, playing out, oh, you're gonna do this, you know, you're gonna do these videos, and I'm gonna insert some videos of him. But he was just so, he would, I don't know, he just would, whatever I needed, he would just take the lead on it. He was a servant. My husband was a servant at heart, and not only to our family, but he was a servant at heart to people in general. So the people that know me and my family and my husband, they know his servant heart. And so, just, and I was telling my counselor that, you know, I missed that. And she said to me in one of our sessions, she said, he's probably in heaven, say, upset with you because you have not continued what you guys started. And that has really resonated with me. I've been thinking about that. And it seems like every few days I'll get somebody has subscribed to the channel, or I'll get someone made a comment, or, oh, you have a new subscriber in your email. I'll get little things here and there that'll make me say, okay. My husband's name is Ali, and I'll say, Ali, is that you? Like, or I get a message on social media that'll say, I miss your videos. I'll get something that says that, and it just brings me back to how much I love doing it. I love doing YouTube and creating content. And so I really, you know, I want to continue doing videos. Honestly, I do. But I don't know how moving forward. Like, some days I don't even want to walk in the kitchen. It's so weird. And I'm gonna share a little something with you guys that's pretty personal, but I feel like sharing. My dining room table is a hot mess. It's a catch-all table. We do homework on that table. I work at that table. I mean, right now I'm sitting here looking at it from this room, and I can see the Windex bottle on the table. I have some bottled water on the table. The whole paper towel holder is on the table. Computer, paper, stuff, just stuff that needs to be cleared off. And one of the things my grief counselor said, she said, she asked me why I hadn't cleared out the table. And I just, you know, I'm like, I don't know why. And she said, I kind of got a suspicion that because we gathered, that was our family's thing, that because there is a hole there at that table, there's an empty space. That's why I keep it. I'm sorry, that's why I keep it cluttered. And so she challenged me to every day do something to clear the table. Do the YouTube video. Go ahead and do it. She just challenged me to start making those strides. You know, absolutely when I'm comfortable. But I got a comment today on one of the videos that is on my channel, and it's the quick neck bone video. And I never would imagine, but the comment was, you know, that the video was straight to the point. They appreciated, so they subscribed. And when I went to the video, it had like 1,000 views. And I know that's not a lot, but I was like, is that another sign I need to keep creating my content? So, and I kind of felt torn because You know, there are so many people in this world that have lost loved ones from this virus. There are so many people hurting. And, you know, I'm just little old me in my little circle. And I try to be as, I try to not look at it as woe is me, because there's so many hurting people in America right now. There are so many people hurting. There's so many people who have died unnecessarily because of this disease. And I just so happen that God, my husband, went home to be with the Lord. And so I'm taking this journey one day at a time. And I want to get back to cooking because I love it. I do love cooking. But I also really miss my husband. And I know so many people miss him, not just me. His mom, his aunt, his sister, his brother, his family. All of us miss him. And I'm just, for lack of a better word, I'm just going to try to get back into the rhythm of doing videos, because I absolutely adore doing them. And even though he was my biggest cheerleader, I'm telling you, anybody knows my husband knows he was my biggest cheerleader. I've got to honor him in you know what I've been doing, what we created together, because I didn't do it by myself. I created it with him. He gave me ideas. We actually wrote down a whole list of stuff that I was going to cook. I mean, he was just the creative genius behind me doing what I do, and just pushing me to the level of, you know, actually getting out there and doing it. So I want to tell you guys, thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for viewing my videos. Thank you for just really being a part of my little YouTube community. And I'm going to get back to making videos. They may not come as consistent as they used to, but I'm going to try my best, because I actually love doing it. So that's one of the things I really loved, cooking. So hug your family. Please protect yourself. I know there's vaccines. I got my first shot a couple of days ago. And I actually have been not feeling well when I got the first shot. And I don't know, I mean, there are, you know, factors in it, but I had a fever this morning, but now I'm without fever and I feel a whole lot better. And when I got that message, it was like a little push to say, it was like my husband saying, go, do it. Do it. So I know he's with me. I know God is with me. So I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna take my time though. I'm gonna tell you, because y'all just don't know how instrumental he was in everything. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take my time and do it. And I'm gonna start putting some content out. Now, I did do that TikTok. My son showed me that TikTok craze that was going on with the feta and tomatoes and olive oil and garlic. That was so easy to make. So I did that, and I did take some pictures of it. So I may post that just to show, you know, let you guys know how it turned out for us. So that's an idea, but I still have the list that me and my husband wrote, and I'm going to pull that list out and just, plan accordingly. So I hope you guys stick with me, and I appreciate you. I love you all. God loves you. And please stay safe and know that through it all, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're going through, you can feel absolutely. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel what you feel because that helps you process what's going on. So it's okay. You just got to keep moving. Each day get stronger. Each day get better. Each day ask God to help you through it, and you can get through it. You can get through it. Just keep going. Don't stop. Whoever's out there, whoever's dealing with whatever you're dealing with, just keep going and don't stop. Thank you. Bye, you guys. Hey. Tell me, what you think about the lasagna?
This lasagna is delicious, and I love it. Thank you, baby.